but I want to share a little collection I'm building. I went out and found the worst condition sealed games I could find and sent them off to be graded, trying to get the worst grade that I possibly could. Now, I didn't damage these myself, that would ruin the fun, obviously. I found them this way. Because it's easy to find beat up old games, but these are sealed games. That means someone beat the hell out of these games, but for some reason kept them completely unopened, as if the total sealed value is still going to apply when it's smashed up. Now, I'm using Wata to grade these because Wata, you can do it through a website and it's much easier than the other grading companies. And Wata's scale goes from 10 to 9 in increments of 0.2, but obviously we're not worried about that. We're not going to be anywhere up there. And then it goes from 9 to 0.5 in increments of 0.5. The quality of a seal is graded from A++ to C. So for our purposes, a perfect grade is a 0.5 C. Now, I would show you examples for a 0.5 sealed game, but they don't actually have one listed on their site. You can click on every level and see, like, an example. But when you go down to 0.5 and click that, they have examples for a cart and for a manual, but they don't have one for a box. It just says soon. So let's hope that we can give them one to use as an example. So I sent out 5 games to start this collection. I have more on hand now to send out the next time. And here they are. All 5 of these games are still sealed, remember. We have 4 that look like they were run over by a truck. These 4 are NSYNC Get to the Show for the Game Boy Color, Klax and Marble Madness for the Game Boy Advance, Double Dunk for the Atari 2600, and Duel Masters Kaijudo Showdown for the Game Boy Advance. The 5th game is after game companies switched to the less destructible plastic cases, so it's hard to find really beat up versions of those, and it's actually a game I like as opposed to the others. It's Parappa the Rapper 2 with some weird, suspicious black stuff on the front and a weird giant ring on the back. Now, when I sent these off, I was like, man, I wish I could see their faces when they open this box. I assume they would basically open it and be like, oh, the hell is this? Because they're used to all the, fancy great condition grades. And, well, it turns out that was basically correct because they emailed me about the conditions of my games. So, here's the email that they sent me. They said, when this package was received and opened by our team, there were several of the games that appear to have been pancaked. Please note that I was able to review the footage of the game being unboxed, and these games were in this exact condition when they arrived to us. Please see pictures below for reference. If this is not the condition your games were in when you shipped them, please contact whichever carrier you used to file a claim. You are welcome to use the photos we provided to you for your case. We would like to know how you would like to proceed with these 4 games. Would you still like them graded with numerical grades or with the Gen designation? That's where they don't actually give it a grade. You're just like, oh, I really care about this game and I want it in a fancy box. Or we can return them to you unprocessed when the rest of the games have been completed and refund the grading fees for those 4 games. And I noticed that they said 4 games and thought that Parappa the Rapper was fine, apparently. But I responded saying, oh, no. That's totally intentional. I want a numerical grade. I'm starting a collection of the lowest possible grades I can find. Yeah, this was intentional, so go ahead and grade them. So they then cleared the hold and wished me luck in getting the lowest grades possible. Well, that was all a few months ago because the grading process is slow, but I finally got the games back today. I wasn't sure how easy it would be to get a 0.5. Would they just give all of these a 0.5 and ruin my fun? Just be like, all right, these are all clearly awful, 0.5. Or would it be something I could strive for? They would give it like a proper bell curve like they do on the top end for the low end, and I could try to get the perfect low grade. Well, we are about to find out, because it's the moment you've all been waiting for, the grade unveiling. So in 5th place, with a 4.0 B+, we have Parappa the Rapper 2. I have actually seen the rare game with a 4 grade before, when I look on eBay for stuff. But this game also came with the notes mold on case and moisture damage on case. In fourth place, with a 3.0A, we have Duel Masters Kaijudo Showdown. As I mentioned, this is the first time I've ever seen a grade below 4, because I check regularly on eBay, and I've seen a couple, actually rare games with a 4. I don't know who else would be grading Kaijudo Masters Duel Showdown, but this is the first one I've seen below a 4. In third place, with a 2.5A, we have Double Dunk. This one is ridiculously bent and warped. I really thought it would be lower than it is, but oh well. In second place, we have with a 2.0B+, we have Klax and Marble Madness. So I'm glad that they're grading these seriously and not just slapping the lowest grade on all of them. I mean, though I thought all of these would be lower than they have been, I'm glad. It gives me a goal. And finally, in first place with a near perfect 0.5B, we have NSYNC Get to the Show. The 0.5 is perfect, the lowest possible grade. Great, amazing, we got one. They have an example now, they can use that. Sadly, the sealed grade is not the lowest possible. It goes down to C, so to get a perfect grade, we would need a 0.5C. But still, it feels good that one of these hit 0.5, so I'm happy about that. Now, here is the collection set out all together and proudly displayed on my shelf. Of course, this is just the beginning of the collection. As I mentioned, I have more sitting in my closet waiting to be sent out that I haven't sent yet. And the next ones are better actual games, or games that I care about, rather than just the worst games that I could possibly find. So, keep an eye out eventually as this collection of the worst possible condition sealed games grows. And if you ever have a sealed game that you accidentally, ran over with a car, drilled a bunch of holes through, or dropped in a vat of acid, let me know. I am quite possibly your only potential buyer, and I am very interested.